Hello everyone, welcome to Cartoon Season. I'm Tyler, and this is where I get to talk to y'all about all different types of animation, cartoons, anime, all that good stuff. And today, in honor of Lightyear coming out, which should be coming out today, the day that this podcast episode drops, we're going to talk about Toy Story, which I have not talked about yet. So we're going to talk about Toy Story, the original, the start to Pixar, and what birthed, an iconic studio. And it's where we're at today, with today being the newest Pixar release of Lightyear. So all comes full circle in one way or another. So we're going to talk about Woody being replaced, which I never really realized, or I never remembered how salty Woody was that Buzz got replaced. Like, I always knew that he was, like, he felt some type of way, but he really was like a jerk in like 90% of this film. And then I want to talk about the just overall camaraderie of toys that is displayed throughout the movie. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So, Woody being replaced, right? So like I just said, I never remembered how just angry Woody got, now that he had to be replaced by Buzz. So at the top, Woody is Andy's favorite toy, right? That's very clear. Plays with him the most. He has all types of sheriff, cowboy, Woody stuff all throughout his room, like posters and the bed sheets and all that stuff. So it's Woody's living the good life. He also doesn't have to worry about any sort of birthdays or Christmases, where other toys may have to, where they're afraid they might get replaced, or not played with as much. Now Andy has 20 toys instead of 15 toys. So now, the slice of the pie for each toy gets smaller, except for Woody, because Woody's the favorite. But I do like that setup of Woody being kind of the leader of the toys, but also he uses that to his advantage, where like he's like somewhat of a hypocrite, even in the beginning, where he's like, oh no, you don't have to worry, like I tell y'all every holiday, whatever, like don't worry, no one's getting replaced, you're all gonna be fine. But his hypocrisy shows even there in the beginning, because he is the favorite toy, so of course he has nothing to worry about. Of course, Mr. Potato Head is like, you're the favorite, like it doesn't really mean much coming from you, because you don't have that fear. You don't have to battle that fear the same way that we do whenever 365 days comes around and it's Andy's birthday again. So even right there, he's like, he's even showing as one of those leaders that tells their people what to do and tries to relieve them, but he never actually has to walk in their shoes. So it's like, it's not advice from experience. It's just advice from like, oh well, here's what should happen. And then even later on, when Buzz comes in, he's in denial. Like, he's super in denial. He's like, oh no, it's fine. Even though I got thrown on the floor off the bed and Buzz took my spot on the bed, it doesn't matter. It's just a new toy. He's excited, all that. But everyone else can see it. Like, clearly, it's written all over the walls, of what's happening here. And he's just in denial. And then even further, he another coping mechanism is that he needs Buzz to believe that he's a toy, probably because he takes so much pride in it himself. Like, Woody is the best toy, essentially in the entire room, because he's Andy's favorite. So of course he's the best toy. He acts the best way. He has all these plans of like when to do things and these meetings throughout the different toys. It's like a town hall basically. So the fact that there's a toy that comes in here doesn't believe they're a toy, and that toy that doesn't believe they're a toy is Andy's favorite toy, like it's completely shattering everything that he's known and loved up until this point. It's like, how can a non-believer be God's favorite, basically? It doesn't make any sense. Whereas you have a dude over here who's completely devoted all his life to God and he's now second fiddle at best. Second fiddle. And then we move on a little further, and he's super upset with Buzz, as if it was Buzz's idea to be gifted to Andy. Like, this is a moment that doesn't make any sense to me. Like trying to put myself in Woody's shoes, where it's like, I understand you're upset, but being mad at Buzz as if Buzz waltzed in here and was like, I'm taking over everything. It's like, dog, he's a toy. You know he's a toy. You've been trying to convince him that he's been a toy this whole movie. And you know what happens with toy, like, you didn't choose Andy, you know what I mean? Like, you didn't choose, like, again, we don't know how Woody got there. We don't know if, like, the mom picked him out when, you know, Andy was at toy store, or if it was a birthday present, or, you know, I don't know if that ever gets explained, or that we need that. But, like, you know how this works. Buzz didn't infiltrate this place. Like, he doesn't even think he's a toy. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, for Woody to, like, be like, stay away from Andy, like, I'm a toy. Like, I don't believe I'm a toy at this moment, but you know that I'm a toy, and you know that I can't just stay away from him. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna leave? Doesn't make any sense. Come on, Woody. Woody is now, like, Woody gets to a point where he is letting his emotions get in the way of his logic. And then he makes fun of Buzz for believing he's actually a space ranger, right? That's not fair. I mean, you just get birthed. You don't know what you are. You believe what you're supposed to believe, and at that point, why would he believe he's a toy? Doesn't make sense, right? Why would he believe that? He's been brainwashed, just like every Buzz has, you know? And then on the other side of that, like, for Woody to resort to, like, name calling and like flat out just bullying Buzz at this point, you know? Like, you're supposed to be the leader of this place. You're supposed to be welcoming, and, you know, you remember what he said when Buzz first got here? He was like, oh, let's all give him a nice Andy's room welcome. Not at this point ever, you know, because it's kind of showing your true colors, man. You know, you're basically showing that, like, I don't care. I'm not going to be nice to you if you are a threat to me. If you're a threat to my weird, like, arbitrary, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's like strange. The room is strangely like a society, like a community, which is cool, but, like, there's no currency. So it's like, it's just like playtime, I guess, is what Andy cares about. And so, again, if his slice of the pie is getting smaller, then that's like taking money out of his pocket. You know, it's like the real world equivalent, the human equivalent. And so he's like, oh no, I don't like Buzz. And that's proven by, if you get further in the movie, it gets all the way to the point where he accidentally pushes Buzz out the window to take him out. You know? It's like, oh man, come on, Woody, like, and then immediately everyone turns on him, rightfully so. It's like, why would you think that we're just gonna be okay with this? You know, we all clearly have seen these past few days or weeks or whatever with you just stewing in the corner, just hating that you're not Woody's favorite anymore, and Buzz, a toy who doesn't believe he's a toy, still does not believe that he is a toy, is Andy's favorite toy. Like, it's just, all of it points to you. There's no way that was an accident, you know? And also for you, if it was an accident, for you to not immediately be like, oh my god, we have to come up with a plan to get him back. Like, it's written all over your face. It was written on the walls, now it's on your face. You know? Like, he just sucks. Like Woody, like, there are facets to Woody that I feel like we are sympathetic for, but all in all, like, Woody sucks as a character in this film. Like, the whole time he's just so selfish, you know? And it's like, why do we care about this character? You know, like Toy Story, the movie, they really did a good job of us still caring about Woody by the end of this film. And then with the, I don't know, second act, third act of this film, if that's what you want to call it, like, all it takes is just a life and death adventure for Woody to actually warm up to Buzz, you know, because even when they got lost and they had, like, the only reason Woody wasn't gonna leave, the only reason he wasn't gonna go back to Andy's room without Buzz is because he knew that everyone would blame him, and everyone would think that he like killed Buzz, essentially. And so he couldn't go back because his image would be tarnished. Like, even at that point, he was still only thinking about himself. He didn't really want to save Buzz. He was saving Buzz to save himself. It really wasn't until, I mean, honestly, it really wasn't until he saw how broken Buzz was when Buzz actually found out and like had the epiphany that he actually is a toy. After Buzz sees the commercial, and then that breaks him, and then he tries to fly and he realizes he can't really fly, completely destroys him, right? It really wasn't until that moment when he started to care for Buzz, and then it's cemented when he actually saves Buzz from Sid's rocket. But it took all of that, like, again, it's almost like his own self-recognition that, like, it took for Buzz to have like an emotional breakdown and finally realize he's a toy, finally realize the thing that Woody has been needing him to realize the whole time, for his own self-actualization, for him to accept Buzz, which, and again, they do a good job, because by the end, they bond, they help each other get back to Andy, driving against the moving truck and the van or whatever. The writers, the story does a good job of us coming around, the same way that Woody came around on Buzz, we're coming around on Woody, and they care. Even at the very end, we have a nice little moment where, I just lost my entire train of thought. Where they're scared because it's not that Andy just got a new toy. Andy apparently just got a puppy. And that's funny because there's a bunch of different implications there of like, oh, the puppy's going to take all of Andy's attention because it's a puppy. Or maybe they're afraid that the puppy is going to maybe like roughhouse with the toys, because that's what puppies do. It's even what dogs do, just in general. They can roughhouse with toys because they're just like, oh, it's a toy. That's funny. They kind of bond a little closer after that even. But just the whole arc, like, it's fascinating to me going back and watching this movie again. I don't know when the last time I saw this movie was, but it was a while ago. I mean, this movie came out, didn't this movie come out like 99 or something? It came out a while ago. But like, to go back and really watch how you don't care for Woody at all. Like, you understand, like, I understand why Woody is acted the way he did in this film, but I don't agree with it. Like, yeah, you're salty because you're not number one anymore, but you're still Andy's toy. Like, all the things you preach to everyone else because everyone else in the room is not number one. Like, you don't take your own advice, and that's the hypocrisy of Woody's brain, And even through most of the film, he doesn't care about Buzz, So it's, I don't know, it is funny revisiting the film and like seeing these aspects to Woody's character that I didn't really remember, I just thought that he kind of didn't like him, and then they get lost together, and then they have to find their way back, and that was the film. Like, no, like he, like 80% of this film, he just completely selfish. All he cares about, doesn't care about anything else until he loses it. Until he loses everything. But yeah, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about was the camaraderie of toys in this film. Now, it does kind of mirror what I just talked about, right? Because obviously Woody, almost no camaraderie, at least when it comes to Buzz. When his status is in danger, throws everyone under the bus. But I think other than that, toys do look out for each other. Andy's room, like I said, is like a little community. Little like town hall. They got meetings. They find ways to, help Andy in the best way possible. That is their purpose, to have fun and be played with by Andy. And that's nice. They kind of look out for each other. They kind of rag on each other, but they're all a little family. And even on top of that, they're all scared of new toys that'll ruin their chemistry. I don't think they should outcast new toys, but I understand why they'd be, like, in general, as a whole, they'd be afraid of new toys. They don't know how new toys are going to act. They don't know. I mean, look at Buzz. We get a new toy who doesn't believe he's a toy. I mean, that's kind of scary. Like again, there are things that I understand, especially Woody, how he thinks towards Buzz. I just don't agree with him. And then, like I mentioned earlier, as soon as Woody betrays a toy, they cast him out. They're like, no, Buzz is a toy. Like, he's Andy's toy. Like, he's got the thing on his foot. Like, he's one of us. So for you to try to take him out, like, to do the equivalent of like murdering another toy, that's not cool. You can't do that. Like, you especially, you're supposed to be our leader. You're supposed to be the top. You're supposed to set an example. And for you to just be like, we must kill him. We must take his life. Like, we can't. No, we're not doing that. And then we jump over to an even better example of this. Sid's toys help each other out. Even new toys. We get some toys, broken and mangled and torn apart, and they're like, no, we're gonna get them, and if we can repair you to your previous form, to your initial form, we're gonna help you do that. We're gonna fix you, because we all know what it's like to be Sid's toy. So we know the pain that each of us individually can go through, and we're going to try to help each other out as much as possible. That's awesome. And then further with that, with the help of Sid's toys, Woody and Buzz are able to scar Sid, which again is them coming together and be like, we're not taking this no more. We've been scared of Sid this whole time. We've just kind of been passively helping each other out. But now we've come together and we have other toys that are owned by other people who have good lives. So like, we know what a toy's life can be. And so we're at the very least, we're not taking this no more. We're not doing it. So we're going to scare Sid into at least respecting his toys. Maybe not playing with them in the same way that Andy plays with them, but we're not going to be experiments. We're not going to be Frankenstein's monster anymore. And at the end, Andy's toys do accept Woody and Buzz back. It's more so a feat, accepting Woody back. But, at the end of the day, they are family, and, there's an explanation for everything. And there's also apologies that are made, like Woody was bad. He was clearly in the wrong, but he's learned from his mistake, and we can accept you back and give you another chance, because up until that point, you've been nothing but good to us for the most part. So again, I think the group mentality of toys and how they really are a family, how they do look out for each other, I think is really nice, because that really is like the backbone to the film, is that toys help each other out. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to talk about with the movie. And those really just the two big things that were kind of on my mind as I was watching this movie again. This is probably, I don't know, I've probably seen this movie a bunch. I feel like I probably had this movie on VHS at one point. And so I probably saw this movie a lot as a kid. But yeah, those are kind of the two big things that I've noticed on my upteenth, rewatch of this film. So, yeah, it's good. It was also very, very nice, kind of watching their first film again, and really how a lot of this movie does not hold up. But some of it does, I'm more so talking about the animation, and how they definitely cut a lot of corners. But you can tell it's their first film, but not that it's bad in any way. Not that we should look at this as like, oh man, they should forget about this. Like, no, this is, there's a lot good here, a lot of heart, and yeah. So again, it's nice to see everything come full circle with Lightyear coming out and just what that is and what that'll be. Again, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very excited to. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Please let me know what you think of Toy Story, the original one, and if you think it holds up, what your favorite parts were, what you thought of Woody's whole thing in this film. And yeah, and let me know if you've already seen Lightyear. Let me know what you thought of it. If you haven't, let me know how excited you are for it. And please go listen to other episodes of Cartoon Season. Again, I cover other cartoons, anime, movies, all that stuff. I have also been doing, I don't know when exactly everything comes out, but at this point, hopefully you have the ability to watch some other stuff I'm putting out on the channel finally. Stuff like reactions to different animated stuff, which is a lot of fun, and also maybe some gameplays, you know, starting that up. So go check all that stuff out. Go try it if that's your thing, you know. And until next time, watch more cartoons. Cartoons are the best.